What's going on, everybody? Hey, my name is Andy, and welcome to the 5th episode of that one interesting podcast. As usual, before we get started, here's a couple ways to get in contact with us. The first option is our email, which is that one interesting podcast at gmail.com. Our email is that one interesting podcast at gmail.com. The second option is our blogging site, which is that one interesting podcast.blogspot.com. Our blogging site is that one interesting podcast.blogspot.com. You can use our blogging site to leave any comments on topics that you would like to hear talk on the podcast. And don't be afraid to leave any type of criticism in a way to improve the podcast for our listeners. But anyway, welcome to the 5th episode of that one interesting podcast. And today's episode title is Breaking Bad Habit and Building Good Habits for a Better Lifestyle. And we got two very special guests with us. I'm going to let them introduce themselves and y'all can get to know them.
It's the one and only Mark, back for the third time. Entrepreneur, student activity coordinator. And that's all I'm going to tell y'all.
My name is DeAndre. Follow me on Instagram at MUSSLE_. Future mobile in the making, man. Entrepreneur as well. I'm about to get it.
X mark the spot training.
Make sure you advertise your movement.
Follow me on IG. We out here.
So what's going on, guys? How you doing today, man? DeAndre,
Man, ready to go
long day.
Long day, man. Long day. A lot of meetings, a lot of business. Man, just long. STEM stuff, usual.
But we're going to get to the topics, which is breaking bad habit and building good habit for a better lifestyle. So first we're going to say, what is a habit? So a habit could be like a routine of behavior that is repeat regularly and tend to occur subconsciously. So a habit can happen like, it's something that you do all the time, but you're not conscious about it. It's become a part of your lifestyle that you're not aware of. It could be good or bad, but it depends on what you choose, based on how you was raised and how your upcoming was. Maybe you might have some bad habit. Maybe you might have some good habits that might have like a big effect, on your life. So I did a little bit of research, before we come here. JamesClears.com. He says, according to research at Duke University, habits count for about 40% of our behavior on any given day. It's better to start good habit so it can have a better reflective on your lifestyle and later on success. When you learn to transform your habit, you can transform your life. So I'm gonna give it up to the guests. You can explain to me certain things that y'all know about habits and clear it up in the air for the people to understand.
I just think that we gotta go back a little bit because I feel like the last two podcasts was kind of crazy.
Oh man,
we gotta change the tempo a little bit on this podcast.
Yeah. We had to.
So I just had to acknowledge that part.
I feel you. So we had to come with the habit thing, how to improve.
Positive.
We gotta improve, but even though our last two podcasts was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. There's some good details about relationship that a lot of people should know about. So it's a movement. So we getting better and and we improving.
Balance, a good balance.
But anyway, what do you think? What is based on the topic on the habit? What do you think about a habit? Give me your definition of habit.
You want to go first?
No, you can slide.
Habit is just a day-to-day routine. It could be day-to-day or it could be week-to-week or month-to-month. It's pretty much a standard you set for yourself, I would say. Habits could be anything from fasting, meditating, working out, just a little bit of anything pretty much. There's good habits, there's bad habits. Usually, good habits results to a better life, and bad habits results to a struggling life or a stressful life. One of my good habits is meditating. I meditate every night before I go to bed because it kind of give my mind an opportunity to think what I got coming in the future, what I did in the past, and kind of reflect, because self-awareness is key. And I would say when you're aware of yourself and what you've done and how you are as a person, you can better maneuver in this world.
No,
So-
I wish I could drop a bomb like end those episodes. And that was some good advice. What about you, DeAndre?
I
Tell
can't
us
even
about some
talk
habit,
that.
man.
Can't even talk that. But like when I think of habits, it's what you do in the stress. I feel like that's when habits that's what comes to my mind, because in reality, when you facing a lot of problems, whatever you go revert to, that's really what your habits are, because what you've been taught and like that way. So that's what I think about when I think of habits. One of my good habits is I always keep on going regardless of what's going on. Or my bad habits, like words get to me. You know what I'm saying? Because that's one of my bad habits. But I feel like habits definitely make you who you are, but you can change them to change your life as well. Like you were saying before, I think y'all really summed it up kind of well, though. I can't beat Mark, boy. Mark.
Yeah, but like habits is basically it's a certain behavior that you do in your lifestyle that you have, but sometimes you're not aware of. Sometimes people have habits that they're not aware of,
Yeah.
but they do it all the time, but they don't know it that they doing that type of habit.
Yeah, it's unconscious.
So it become a habit when you basically if you trying to be a go getter, not be lazy and stay on top of your thing, but yet you usually be you used to be lazy, but now you're trying to change your lifestyle. Now like the process is you need to work your way out there to keep doing keep trying to change that laziness habit in order for you to change your life to have that go-get mind, to make that go-get mindset a habit. But basically during that process of changing your lifestyle, that's where you work. Like you gotta trying to change it. It's hard, like basically when you're trying to break a habit. It's kind of hard when you're trying to break a habit, because when something become a habit, it become like a subconsciously thing that you do every day that you are comfortable with. Because if you're comfortable with something that you do, it's a habit.
It's a muscle memory.
Yeah. It's basically like, how you like first started driving, you was scared of the other car that was passing by next to you, but now you can drive and change everything, change the station without even being aware of the other car. Now driving become a habit because you do it so much.
Comfortable with it.
Yeah, you become comfortable with it. You can say like habit is when you become comfortable with certain behaviors in your lifestyle.
You have an experience, keep on doing it while the experience level.
Yeah.
But like when I was thinking what you were saying, the hardest challenge is creating new habits, because like you were saying, it's muscle memory. So now you gotta try to go over your muscle memory and create new habits, which is always, like you were saying, is hard at the beginning. But once you create those new habits and you stick with those new habits, your life will change. And also, what will make you get new habits is the desire. Once you get to a certain point, you're like, man, I can't do this no more. Like this is it. Like after a while, you're gonna start like coming to where like, maybe I need to, until that hit the wall. And you're like, dang, I have to. That have to is gonna make you change your habits.
That positive thinking.
Yeah, that mentality.
It's a habit. Positive thinking. And I think that a lot of people gotta embrace struggle and pain and things of that nature, because it shapes you and make you who you are, and it make you more stronger than you were before. So when a lot of people they complain and different things like that, I'm stressed and different things like that, it's just something that's gonna prepare you for the future, and essentially. So if we continue to have that self-awareness that I was talking about earlier, you're aware that your weaknesses is this, that, and the third. So you keep working on it to make it a strength, per se. So it's the habits that mold you at the end of the day. So everybody is a product of their habits. So every habit you have, you put it all together, and you pretty much can tell where the person's going, where they're going to be in the next 5 years, and different things like that. I could talk to a person. If a person tell me their habits, I could tell exactly where they're going to be going the next 5 years and where they at right now and different things of that nature, just based off of your habits, because the habits is going to mold you at the end of the day. So if a person works out a lot, they're trying to be fit, they're trying to be healthy, different things like that. They're trying to get strength, or they're trying to be in shape, or whatever the case may be. If a person meditate, then they're trying to have a peace of mind and different things like that. They're trying to have self-awareness. They're trying to plan out their days instead of just going with the flow. They're trying to sleep comfortably at night. Because if you don't meditate at night, you're going to have your mind continuously going, and people say, I can't sleep. This is why you can't sleep, because you're not giving your you're not giving your mind time to actually think in peace.
What do you mean by thinking peace?
Like meditation, you have to sit in a room and kind of be in peace and just listen to yourself breathe and kind of think about the different things you got going on in your life, like what you did today, what you're doing tomorrow, and kind of map out what you got planned moving forward. And it has to be at peace, because throughout the day, everybody's doing this, that, and the third. You running around. Yeah. Everybody's up. They on their phone, texting. They watching TV. There's so much distractions going on that you can't really think about what you got going on in your life. You know, because sometimes we'll sit there and we want to think about what we're doing tomorrow, but then our phone ring. Oh, homegirl want to talk. Homeboy want to talk. All right, then the text come. Oh, check my IG. Check this out. Then we get distracted all of a sudden, and we forget what we had planned to do was really just sit down and think about what I got planned tomorrow. And next thing you know, you wake up and tomorrow's here. You ain't got no plan. And you done stayed up all night thinking about different things and being distracted, and now you're tired the next day.
So to generalize what you say, basically, a person needs to create a habit of staying focused on their goal.
Yeah. Meditation is a form of staying focused. Like, I'm not saying meditate all day, every day. I'm saying give yourself some time. At the end of I usually do it at night because it's peaceful at night. That's when everybody sleep. You know, ain't nobody here to mess you up. It's peaceful at night. So I usually say before I go to sleep, I just stay at ease, relax my mind, take everything off my mind, and boom, I sleep like a baby. Feel me? But if I don't meditate, I'm not gonna be able to sleep because I got 100 things going through my mind, just racing. Dang, I gotta do this. So I gotta do that.
I have like couple examples. Like, it was like last week or so before I go to sleep. That's why before I go to sleep, I usually get everything done with. Because if I don't get it done with while I'm sleeping, I have a lot of things, like ideas coming to my head. Like, oh yeah, I should do this, I should do that.
Yeah,
bro. Let me tell you, I had to go to work at I had to wake up at 5:30. So I spent I was in bed trying to go to sleep, but I was thinking about so many other ideas and stuff like that. I couldn't go to sleep for about 3 hours. I ended up going to sleep around 3 going to 4. Imagine I had to wake up at 5:30. So I only had 2 hours of sleep, bro. 2 hours of sleep. Oh my God, man.
But sleep is important, though.
2 hours of sleep was crazy. I didn't know how I was gonna make it that day, but some way, somehow, I survived. But as soon as I got up, I went straight to bed, and I woke up. I went to bed around 2 something in the afternoon, and I ended up waking up around 9:30. And the thing is, going to sleep that early, it messed up my sleeping cycle. So I had to reschedule myself not to go to sleep early, so I can make sure that I go to sleep in the right time and wake up in the right time. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But for the next segment, we're gonna go to the personal side of it, like your personal experience on a habit. Can you tell me what are some bad habits that you had to deal with, and how did you overcome that bad habit, or do you still have some bad habit that you're dealing with? I want to know how'd you overcome the bad habit and make it switch it up to being a good habit, fixing it up and being a good habit. So what are some bad habits that you dealt with?
I think everybody got bad habits, at least one or two. I mean, mine is procrastination. I used to procrastinate bad, wait till the last minute to do things. The next thing you know, I'm rushing and it don't turn out the way it's supposed to be just because I was rushing and waiting till the last minute. So I think working on that made me more organized and more effective. Procrastination is never a good thing. I mean, some people like pressure, but essentially if you work on the thing ahead of time, you're not going to have pressure because you don't feel like you did it your best because you had time to work on it. You had time to think it out. You had time to see, okay, this didn't work. I can adjust to this. and different things like that. But when you procrastinate, you don't leave no time for error. You don't leave no time for emergencies. You don't do none of that.
Yeah, life is gonna hit you.
Life just gonna hit you, and you're gonna get whatever grade you deserve, or whatever the case may be. If you got a presentation, your presentation is gonna be just as much time as you put into it. That's exactly how it's gonna look.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, they say they like the pressure, but essentially you just gotta work at it early, and it's gonna be better than what you expected. Because we have low expectations when we come in. Once you procrastinate, what's the first thing somebody say? Oh, I just need a C on this or something like that.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Trying to get
They
the
don't
bare
even
minimum.
go for the A because they know they ain't put in the work.
Yeah.
You feel me? But when you start off early, like, I bust my behind doing this. I got to get an A on this. I done been working on this for 2 months
Yeah,
or whatever the case may be. Now they be like, oh, I got to get an A on this. So it's just, it creates a standard for you. Like, if you just start working on things on time, you're going to create a higher standard at the end of the day. So stop procrastinating. I used to do that. That's my worst
Do you have
habit.
any other bad habits?
I probably do, but I'll let DeAndre go with one of his, and I'll probably
Alright.
throw in my second one.
One of
I
my
gotta think it out.
my worst habit is I can't say no. Like, I'm willing to do whatever God put in front of my path. Like, I feel like if somebody asks me to do something, I feel like God sent them to give it to me so I can do it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't mind doing it. And the thing is, too, I don't count on people. I hate counting on people because, like, even when I was a jit, like, I told my dad, come pick me up on Friday, jit ain't never there. Like Drake said, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that stick with you so you don't never rely on nobody. So I'll take whatever you ask me to do, and I'm going to do it better than you would so I can be better. But that's also my habit to where I do so much that I don't have time for me. I won't have time to meditate because I'm worried about getting something else done or I'm trying to be the best I can be. So, like, that's my biggest habit, I would have to say. But also, your habits can change if you change your environment. If you're around people that promote good habits, your bad habits you will see that, oh, why am I doing this? I need to do what they're doing to create that good habit. You know what I'm saying? If I'm hanging around Mark meditates every night, then I need to meditate too. That's what's helping him be successful. That might help me be successful. And if it doesn't work, that's fine, but that's also something that you can try to implement so you can be more successful in something. You know what I'm saying?
All right. So yo,
I thought about it.
All right, go ahead.
Another one is overthinking. What's meant to be is going to be. God already has a plan for you. We just here to execute what we got on earth here. So overthinking is another thing I feel like is a bad habit because at the end of the day, you're doing a whole bunch of unnecessary thinking when all you have to do is set your standard and go for your standard and do whatever it takes for you to do that's in front of you. When we start overthinking, we start doing too much and thinking we God and try to predict our future and try to do this and try to do that. And that's just not going to work. It's going to lead to stress, a lot of stress. And I feel like when I don't overthink, I'm more at peace with that. Another one I would say is wasting time. Like I used to waste a lot of time hanging with the boys on the block.
Procrastinating.
Yeah.
But it's also when you don't have nothing to do.
Yeah.
A lot of people will just sit there and like, all right, I'm gonna waste this hour or two because I ain't got nothing else to do. But in hindsight, you do have something to do. There is something you can do
Yeah,
to
for
get
me-
better at the end
For
of the
me,
day.
like if I wake up like super late, like around 10, 11.
Sleeping in,
Yeah, as soon as I wake up, I feel
bad
like
habit.
I felt like I wasted my whole day.
Yeah.
Bad
So I
habit.
had to change that, trying to wake up more early around like 6, 7 o'clock so I can get done, like get all my things done early. Like for me, my some of my bad habit is I would say trying to stay focused, like on certain things that I need to get done, staying focused and be more aggressive on the things that I want to go get. I tend to get a little bit more laid back on certain things. Be like, oh yeah, it's gonna work out. Don't worry about it. But at the end of the day, when the pressure comes, that's when I start like, I got to do this, I got to do that. So those are some of my bad habits, but it's in the work in progress to trying to change it. So my second question for y'all would be, what are some process did y'all implement in order for y'all to break those bad habits? Like any habits that you had that was bad, what are the process that y'all implement in order for y'all to break those habits?
Well, read a lot of books, watched a lot of motivational videos, and I got up off my ass and stopped wasting time. Essentially, you just got to do it. Like, a lot of people, they play the talk game. They'll tell you what they're going to do, and they'll tell you loud and clear that what they're going to do, but they ain't move a muscle. So what I just need to start doing. I just need to start doing more, stop talking, and just put in that work at the end of the day, because hard work is the only thing that cannot be measured. You feel me? So at the end of the day, you just got to put in that work and stop doing all the talking, doing all the tweeting, all the Instagrams, and tell me what you're going to do and actually do it. Because at the end of the day, if you don't do it, somebody else will.
So what about you, DeAndre?
I think like you need to change your environment. I think your environment has a lot to do with how your habits you have, as well as what you're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you hang around people that's not going to do nothing, probably you're not going to do nothing with them. You hang around 4 broke people, you're going to be the 5th broke person. You feel what I'm saying? Hang around people that's doing things that's going to get you where you need to go, so you can find your lane as well. You know what I'm saying? My life changed when I changed my environment. When I went from Winter Haven to Ridge, my whole life changed. I was around different people that was actually doing something with their life, actually earning degrees that can set me up and give me opportunities, versus hanging around with people that just chilling. That ain't trying to do nothing with their life, just sitting. They want to sell drugs. Like, that's what they're normally. That's what they happy they do that. You know what I'm saying? Their career is made. So once I changed my environment, it just completely changed where I was gonna go and where I'm at.
So you basically changed your whole environment in order for you, to change your habit.
Yes, my environment changed my habit, because, like I was saying, when you hang around different people, they do different things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's just crazy how you that
So
way.
did you move from a
No.
different place, or just the friends that you had, you just don't associate yourself with them anymore?
No, I still associate with my friends, but I changed schools. So, like, I had took an extra class, right?
Okay.
And I finished high school early. So when I finished early, I transferred to a different school. When I transferred to that school, though, I wasn't hanging around different same people. The same people are not there. You got in trade school, everybody's there to earn something. Not like we're in high school. You have kids that don't want to be there. They're not willing to learn, or you have 1 or 2 that might be interested in learning. Goes in, so you have to change the people you're around changes how you look at it. So from hanging with football players and drug dealers to hanging with somebody saying, "Hey, I want to be a doctor. Hey, I want to be a pharmacist. Hey, I want to be a physician." So their mindset is changing. It changes who you are, because you're not around that anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like having a mentee, like being a mentor.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That type of thing. But if you're the biggest person in the room, like everybody looking up to you, then you're not where you need to be. You need to be looking at somebody else to get their habits. That's how I feel.
And I would say the word we got the key on when it comes to all habits is accountability.
Yeah.
If you're not taking accountability for everything in your life, you are never going to change a habit or nothing like that. Honestly, because when I started looking myself in the mirror and say everything is my fault, everything lies on me, and I took accountability for everything, that's when I started changing habits and forming different, better habits. Because at the end of the day, when I became an entrepreneur, I noticed that everything is my fault. I don't care if somebody else messed up something. Everything will always lie on me. It's my fault. And I have to look myself in the mirror every day and take the blame for everything, because that's the only way I'm going to change things. If I don't take the blame for nothing, I'm not going to change nothing. I'm going to feel like it's all good. But until you start taking accountability for what you do and yourself, then you're not going to change. So I just think accountability is key to all habits in general. Like, that ain't like, you can't blame the cheeseburger while you fat.
You want eating that
You
bitch.
feel me?
Yeah.
Straight
crazy.
up,
I
like
feel
straight
that.
up. Take your ass to the gym. Goddamn it.
Make that effort. That's making that effort, though.
So, like,
Yeah.
all right, you'll say environment,
Yeah.
changing the environment that you in can help you change the habit, those bad habits that you have. Mark said accountability, right? If you talk owning to your mistake and knowing what you did wrong, can help you,
It don't even got to be your mistake. It could be someone else's mistake.
yeah.
You just taking the blame. That's going to push you harder and go
Absolutely.
harder.
how would you take someone else's blame, push you harder?
Like, if you're working on a team, say,
Yeah,
for instance.
that's-
Oh, as a teamwork. I
no.
understand teamwork.
Yeah, I'm saying, but
In general.
at the end of the day, when you're an entrepreneur, you got a team. You feel me? If you're gonna have a team and everybody relying on somebody, and in order to be successful, you got to have a good circle. You got to have a team with you. Y'all got to work together at the end of the day. So even if that person mess up, you still taking the blame. It's still gonna push you to be harder. Like if that person didn't make that call, it's still your fault. You hired that person. That's your homeboy. He's in your circle, so you got to take accountability for him. It's just a mindset. It's a mindset. At the end of the day, you got to change the way you think. We got to be on the offense and not the defense. Feel me? A lot of people, when you talk to them, they on defense. They read and react. But when you on offense, you create the play. You create the play, all right? They going to react to you. You don't react to them at the end of the day. So take accountability for everything, not just things that's your fault. Take it for everything. It's a mindset. It changes everything.
All right. If we want to be more precise, like, okay, what are some like advice from some people that, that's dealing with certain bad habit, but they trying to change their life? What is the first thing would you advise someone that want to change his or her habit? Like, what is the first step that you would say for that person to take?
What's your purpose?
How bad do you want it? How bad do you want how bad do you want something? Like, how bad do you want that goal? How bad do you don't want to be fat? Like, how bad do you want that? If you really want it, you'll get it. That's how I feel about it. Like, I can help you get it. Don't get me wrong, because getting started is always the hard part. So I can help you start, but if I can't walk you through it the whole way. You gotta take the initiative. Well, I'm not there to do these push-ups, do these sit-ups. Nobody's gonna baby you. We grown. Like, it ain't high school no more. You know what I'm saying? So how bad do you want it? Are you willing to get up? Are you willing to stop eating that cheeseburger? Are you willing to cook a meal instead of go buy a meal, which is actually cheaper than going to the McDonald's? Like, how bad do you want it?
Preach.
Like, so that's what I would say.
Yeah, I would say, what you do it for? Like,
Yeah.
At the end of the day, your passion is going to drive you at the end of the day. Like, a lot of people, they'll do things for money, but then after a while, they sit down and think about it like, if they don't love it, if they ain't got passion for it, and they end up not doing it anymore. They end up, man, I'm about to quit this job, or whatever the case may be. So why are you doing it? What is your why? What is your why? You just got to ask the person that question. Why are you trying to get fit? Now, if your why is not a good reason, then you're never going to get fit. If you're trying to see 85 or whatever the case may be, you're trying to live longer for your kids, then a person will take it serious. All right, I got to start working out now. I got kids to live for and different things like that. So what is your purpose? Why are you doing what you're doing?
That come back to the mindset too, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It all ties into it.
Yeah, what your mindset is, where your heart at, where you really want to be.
Yeah, I feel both example like was on the mindset side of things. Like, can you give me some example on the physical side? Like, how can someone, how should he or she jump on, on changing their life? How would what's the process? Can you give me like a physical aspect of some certain process that someone would you would tell someone to take on the journey of changing a bad habit to being a good habit, to get a good habit?
I mean, like say for instance, like changing your circle and different things like that, like those type of things. Like if somebody, like he said, changing your circle, be around more positive people, different things like that. Meditate, like there's different actions you could do as far as physically, like fasting. I would say fasting is another thing I usually do. Like fasting is something that creates discipline. So even if you're going to say, I'm going to drink water for a week, you're creating a disciplined mind state. So that's usually why I fast. I'll fast different things just like that, just to see where my mind at, just to see how strong is my mind. I'm going to stop doing this for this amount of time, and I better not cross my whatever I say I'm supposed to do. I shouldn't cross that. I should have the discipline enough to stick with whatever I'm fasting with. So I would say fasting is another thing I think people should do, just to create that strength and that discipline with their mind. So if you want to do something, just fast it. Just see how long you go without it, and create that strong mentality.
I know sometimes people when they think about ideas on changing their life for the better, when they get tired of certain things that going on in their life, they kind of get excited of the ideas, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna change my life. They think about it, It's gonna be good. You know, excited for the good. You know, the good part that's going to be happening in their life. But at certain point, like if you want to change yourself and and creating good habit, it's a step, it's a process. The number one thing I would say is be patient with yourself. Cause certain time people that's not patient enough with themselves, they overload themselves on certain things that they know that you're supposed to be doing. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, just so I can create a good habit. But at first, if you just jump in something and put all those ideas of things that you should do and all those type of things that you got to think about, you're gonna end up overloading yourself, and later on, like probably you're gonna burn out.
Yeah, but like I said, this go back to being self-aware though. At the end of the
Yeah.
day,
Yeah, be realistic. Like,
So
be realistic.
I'll say like
self-aware.
in order for you, like the first step, like to create a good, long lasting good habit is be patient and go on step by step.
Yeah,
Don't overload yourself with too much. That's gonna burn you out later on and make forcing you to go back to the bad habit.
exactly. Because you can't say you want to be a teacher but you hate kids.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah.
you have to be self-aware.
at
You have
least
to
at least
evaluate.
start getting to know at least one kid. Don't just go to a whole daycare center and say I'm gonna spend the whole day there. Like
but that's even comes back out to getting that opportunity to where if you want something like that, you gotta have that opportunity to like, okay, I'm gonna start this and be realistic with it. Like even like you were saying, I'm gonna try to babysit one kid for a night and then see how that goes. If that's not for you, why have a goal that's not realistic for what you really want to do? It'll go back to your passion. If you hate kids, you should not try to even think about being a teacher. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You should find something that you like to do because that's what's really gonna drive you. Doing like he was saying, doing it for the money, doing it for to please somebody else, is not gonna get you where you want to go. The goal is not gonna be realistic.
yeah, well, I learned that in psychology class, right? That the human body can adapt to any type of environment. It's just gonna be hard. So your body was made to adapt into any type of situation. It just the process might be hard, but the end result you might like it, unless you stay patient. You know what I'm saying? Like you might say, "Oh yeah, I'm in this math class. I don't like it." You probably don't like that math class because you don't know how to do the problems. You didn't pay attention to what the teacher was saying,
Yeah.
or never, spent the time enough to learn about math. I'll say that's the number one reason, because you don't like math, because you get frustrated every time the teacher explaining something, but you completely you don't understand nothing. So the thing I would say is if you want to create good habit, you gotta learn how to adjust yourself and take it step by step. Go back to number one. Like what I'm saying? Go back to number one where you where the foundation start. Because if you think you're gonna jump the first step and go to step 10, it's just gonna be more confusing for you up there because the foundation is messed up. Once the foundation is messed up, guess what? The top level just gonna be falling apart. If you think you're gonna skip number one and just go to step number 10, you're just gonna keep going down, because you missed the first step that would tell you about the second step. The second step would tell you about the third step, and so on and so on.
Process. It's a
Yeah,
process, man.
It's a process. So
It's all about progress because you got to be obsessed with self-improvement.
yep,
Like every now and then I audit myself, like, because every day we change through our experiences. Everybody go through experiences every day. So our mind state may change every now and then. So you have to audit yourself and be like, okay, am I still at the same point I was last month? Am I still at the same point I was a year ago? So you have to audit yourself every now and then just to be sharp, just to make sure we still improving, we still progressing. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to be at a standstill. You want to be better than you were yesterday. So I would say be self-aware, but also be obsessed with self-improvement. Like, check yourself sometimes. We all make mistakes. Look yourself in the mirror like, bro, I know you ain't do that yesterday. I know you ain't wasting time. I know you ain't skipped the gym. I know you ain't missed that homework. Like, you have to put accountability on yourself and look yourself in the mirror every day and, like, I got to do better. I got to do better. Self-improvement every day, every day. Don't slack, man.
So
Keep
I,
it.
so I have another question. Like, if someone come up to you, like, what would you tell someone that keep trying to change themselves but keep failing?
Start looking for that microwave blessing. That's how I feel.
It ain't overnight.
Yeah, it ain't overnight. Like, people take years to get stuff done. Like, most people don't quit their first time when they try to quit smoking. You know what I'm saying? It take a couple years. It may take months. You know what I'm saying? But as long as you're making progress, you should be okay. I feel like it's okay to fall and come back. Don't fall and stay down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, failure is the best teacher, man.
You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. But it's all come back to your mindset. You got to be strong and be willing. You got to pray. I feel like prayer with me is the biggest thing. Praying and reading my Bible, bro. No matter how many times I fall down, how many times I fail something, I'm good. I know God got my back regardless. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes your failure will bring you up. Your failure sometimes open doors for you that you never even, you wouldn't have had if you would have won. You know what I'm saying? The fact that somebody seen you try and fail, they're willing to help you open another door versus always being winning. When progress so quick always seems good, but then in reality, eventually it'll go down so quick. So quick.
Yeah, you don't know how to sustain it.
Yeah, you don't, because you got it so fast. Mm-hmm. Somebody who worked for something, I was going to hold it a lot longer because they had it for so long. You know what I'm saying? You can't had it too long.
Yeah, I was since we talk about church religion stuff, but I was at this convocation, right? The pastor said, how you expect God to give you a bigger blessing, but yet you still can't handle the smaller one. Yeah. So how you expect to have a better job when you coming in late to the job that you have now?
At McDonald's. Yeah, you come late at McDonald's, you won't.
Yeah, how you expect that? Oh yeah, I want to be this and that, but yet you're not disciplined enough to stay in that job, but yet you want a bigger job. Yeah. You're not ready for it.
But you feel like you're ready because you've been there so long.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Entitled.
Yeah. Entitled for something you didn't work for.
Entitled for something you did not work for.
That's what happened with success. Once, certain, entertainers, if you see them, once they get that quick success, they're the one that usually quick to fall. Because if you find, like, if we're talking about rappers, right? If you find a rapper that's been rapping for about 10 years and he finally made it, that man's going to have, like, he knows the discipline. Yeah.
Man. Absolutely.
Compared to a one that just came up like, oh, yeah, I've been rapping for 3 months. It just blow up. He just blow up. I don't know.
Yeah. The more work you put into it, the more you're going to appreciate it every time.
Absolutely. And one thing people don't realize, a lot of these rappers have been rapping for 10, 12 years. DJ Khaled, Rick Ross, Meek Mill, they've been rapping for years. They ain't like Brent, like they're not 6ix9ine or Lil Pump who made it within 2 or 3 years and making big bread. These dudes are well established. Even Jay-Z, how far along he's made it in the game. Like his footprint is everlasting because of the fact that he worked so hard for it. You know what I'm saying? That just comes with how bad do you really want to work? And progress is, if it happens over time, it's better than happening right now. We so quick, and right now it's amazing how distractions and everything. We see something blow up so quick, we want it right now.
Yeah, and I see a lot of people, they young, like 20-year-olds, 19-year-olds, like, to be real, you ain't been through shit. like honestly, like I know a lot of people, they've been through like tough times when they're growing up, but it's not really, it's not real serious yet. Like there's a lot more pressures life gonna hit you with. Like life is an everlasting storm. The storm gonna come, wash it down. You got to build it back up.
It's a cycle.
It's gonna keep on coming. Like once you get out of one storm, the next one coming. Be prepared.
Just make sure you learn from that previous one.
Exactly. You just got to be prepared because God is gonna continuously throw challenges and obstacles towards your way, and it's up to you to hurdle it or trip and fall or whatever the case may be. But you got to get back up and run your race. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. It is a marathon. Like, and then you think it's over.
Yeah, it ain't over.
It's still going. Like, we still living. We still breathing, man. Tighten up.
So to wrap up, this topics, can y'all give me like an overall review on making good habit and keeping good habit to improve your lifestyle?
What you mean,
like give me like an overall review on
talking about
keeping
habits all goddamn.
I know we've been talking about habits. That's what the topic. That's the topic is about, right?
Yeah.
Breaking bad habits and building good habits for a better lifestyle.
Okay.
So can you give me like an overall review on gives them like some some key details
Okay.
on getting that good habit and keeping that good habit. Because some people get good habits, but after that, they fall back to going back to that bad habit. So just give me some key point, not a lot of talking, but just some key point.
But key points. You are in control of your destiny in your life. If you are a religious person, keep God with it and understand every time you fall, it is a blessing. Keep positive people around you. Get people that you can learn from, not people you're teaching. If you're really trying to go places, you are in control of your destiny. How I feel like bad habits, change them so you can get good habits and get somewhere in life. And never forget people that's coming up as well. They probably help you out as well, give you blessings.
And stay consistent.
Yeah, there you go.
Mark.
Yeah, fast, have discipline, be self-aware, know yourself, know what you're able to handle, different things like that. Take accountability for everything you do in life because it is your fault. Whatever it is, it is your fault.
Not whatever now, come on.
Yes, whatever it is,
bro.
it
Mostly,
is.
yeah, bro.
You
don't
put
think about
yourself
it
in
like
these situations. You hire whoever you hire. It's your fault at the end of the day. If you really want to boil it down,
that. It's you.
it's you. All right? And it's a mentality, first of all. So in hindsight, it's not your fault. But if you have that mentality, you will be better moving forward at the end of the day. All right? Every day is progress. You want to be self-improved every day. Stop caring about what other people think because they just insecure. And hurt people. So stay positive.
That's real.
So stay positive.
Just be the light.
And be the light.
Yeah.
Like anything, man.
All right, before we wrap up this episode, I do a segment called Something Interesting. Something interesting could be anything interesting that I found in the internet. It could be a question that is asked by one of a listener. It could be something that someone told me that I think it will be a great, question for this segment of the episode. So this week, something interesting is, since this episode is about habit, what would you say is one of the major habit that you encounter with people? Like, I'm gonna give you a list of things. Exercising, staying focused on their goal, or being too lazy. What are can you pick one of those 3 points and give me which one do you encounter the most around, in your environment? Exercising, staying focused on your goal, or being lazy?
Being lazy.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing.
100% being lazy, man. And I'm tired of people talking and telling me what they gonna do. Stop being lazy. Get up and do something about it. There's a lot of people, they always got something to say about what the next person doing. And while they running their mouth, they ain't doing nothing. So if you got an opinion about somebody else's life, I'm going to need you to do something to improve your life. Because stop wasting time talking about other people. Stop being lazy. Get up. Stop watching, stop playing Fortnite. Stop watching Netflix.
What do you say, DeAndre?
I was about to say thing, but people just lazy. Like, a lot of people don't have ambition, bro. Like, understand, people see things and they want things just because they've seen it, but they don't have the ambition themselves to go get it. You know what I'm saying? That's my biggest thing I see a lot, especially when you take young kids in high schools, even some kids here. Like, bro, they just don't have the ambition or just don't want it for real. They just talk, like Mark was saying.
Yeah, seek purpose, man. Seek purpose. At the end of the day, if you don't know what you want to do, try shit.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you just got to try things and seek purpose. Like, what am I good at? What do I want to accomplish in my life in general? Like, if you want to serve people, then serve. If you want to just be sitting at a desk all day, find a job that's sitting at a desk all day. I mean, just be comfortable with what you're doing. I don't want to hear no complaining. If you want to do something, then do it.
Yeah.
But don't be complaining because you settle for whatever you settle for. You made a decision. It's your fault. Again.
It's your fault. But anyway,
that should be the title of that goddamn podcast. It's your fault.
We're about to wrap up this episode. You know, I like to thank Mark and DeAndre for coming as a guest. You gave a lot of, good advice for people to take and, and implement those type of advice in their life. And hopefully y'all can, break your bad habits and building good habits to improve your lifestyle for a better lifestyle. So is there anything else that y'all would like to say before?
This
We
the first.
finished?
This the first episode that's not about relationships.
Yeah. So,
Okay. We moving on another direction.
What do you say about? What do you think, DeAndre?
Oh man, you got some bad habits. You need to change your life. Put God first, man. I would say put God first and do what you need to do. Do what you need to do. Don't watch nobody else run their race. Don't worry about other comments. Don't do anything that you might think is going to harm you. Do what you need to do and execute it one step at a time. Don't worry about everything you have to do. Don't worry about step 10 when you still at step 1.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Do what you need to do to be successful at that one. If you execute great on step 1, step 2 will be a lot easier, and you keep that progress up. Step 10 will be nothing for you. But if you worry about step 10 while you're at step 1, nothing will get done. That's how I feel.
Yeah. Or you could hit me up. I can answer all questions.
He will be tagged.
I will give you my opinion. At the end of the day, it is my opinion. So don't judge me. And I don't know all. I ain't got all the answers. Let's be clear. I ain't got all the answers. I'm still learning as a man. To be honest, I ain't got all the answers, but I do some research here and there, and I'm quite sharp. You feel me? But yeah, X mark the spot T on IG. Hit me up, man.
So make sure if you'll follow
Be
that
great.
One Interesting Podcast in IG when we post the episode, they will be tagged. So just check out the page and y'all will go to their page and y'all can DM them and ask them any question.
Yeah, no funny shit though.
But lastly, I like to say, stay positive, break bad habits, build good habits, and improve your lifestyle. And we out.
Yeah.